Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges. Welcome to this episode of Single and Doing It All, the podcast to help you realize that as a single mom, you can do everything and you have what it takes. For the ones who are joining us for the first time, my name is Murielle, and I am delighted to be here. I'm joining you from Vegas, and today we're going to talk about why you have to learn to parent yourself if you want to be the best mom that you could be. This is a topic that is even personal to me, and I'll tell you a few stories and even a few expressions that we have in my house about that topic. As you can hear, my voice may be unusual, not the same as usual. I suffer from big time allergies in Vegas, and pollen is everywhere right now. I don't know where you're watching from. Let me know. Put a comment here where you're watching from if you are on Facebook in the studio audience, because as you know, if you're listening to that on anywhere else than Facebook, we record those episodes live so you can come and ask questions. So if you're listening from anywhere else, let me know, and let me know how are the allergies wherever you are. For me, like I said, this year, horrible. I even have a candy in my mouth as I'm talking to you because I'm afraid that I'm going to cough. So forgive me for that. Our topic, why can't you be your best mom unless you learn to parent yourself? Well, I'm going to approach that from two angles today. And the first one will be from you as a mature woman still have that little girl in you. And we're going to approach that from the angle of what happens if you don't pay attention to that part of yourself. Why is it important to do it? And what can it do to hijack you from your best potential? And the other portion will be about raising anybody, whether it is your inner child or your child's. What does it mean from a need point of view? So that's what I'm going to cover today. Let's go first and revisit and reconnect with that little girl in you, the tender, the beautiful, the lovable one, the one that wants to be loved. That's the first thing that she wants. And as you know, many of us actually, until now, I've never met anybody who told me that they had the perfect parents. And that's normal. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And we all do with whatever we know at the time. We always do our best. That's what we need to understand, both to be able to forgive ourselves and to be able to forgive others. And I know in many cases that can be difficult because some people do really hurtful things. But the truth is, this is the best that they can do at the moment that they're doing it. So that little part in you has probably craved attention and loved all your life. And now that you know that, now is the time to connect with that little girl in you. When you close your eyes, visualize her, see her. In my coaching with my clients and in my coaching to myself, because I'm always my first client, we work a lot with connecting to the inner child. Because what happens is, imagine that you have a 2-year-old or a 6-year-old or 7-year-old next to you, and you don't pay attention to that child. And it's like she pulls on your sleeve and say, "Mommy, mommy," and you don't pay attention. And she continues and she screams louder and you don't pay attention. What is going to happen at the end? Do you know? You can even put a comment here if you're on Facebook. I'm sure, even if you're not a parent yet, but my audience is mostly single moms, so I know you know, and from looking at movies or around you, that child is going to throw a tantrum. A tantrum because she wants attention, she wants love. And it's not because she's mean, it's not because she wants to purposely annoy you, it's because there is a need in her, a craving that is not satisfied. Guess what? Your inner child is not different from that. If you don't establish a communication, a relationship, a loving connection with that part of yourself, when you're going to find yourself in high moments of stress, when the part of your brain that is the stress center will be activated, and you will be, in the mode of fight or flight, you can't really seriously have access to your frontal cortex, to the front brain, to analyze or come up with resources because all your body is activated for stress and alert. That part of you will take over. And that's where you're going to find yourself reacting. We see that in kids in kindergarten, but we see that in adults too, where two people are going to have an argument, and soon enough, they're not acting like mature people. They are not acting like emotionally intelligent people. They're acting like kids. And you regress. You will regress, like, for example, you're at work and you're doing something on your computer and somebody's standing behind you. Your stress level is high. You can't even see the folder that is in front of your face while that happens, you feel like a little girl. Oh my God, I'm going to be judged. I'm going to be fired maybe. And they're going to think I'm so stupid. If you were in your right mind, if you were not under that stress, you would say, okay, they know that because they're standing back there, it's harder for me to find because my attention is split. But no, you go directly to the little girl who's afraid of being punished or being perceived as less than, etc., etc. That part of you will drive the bus if you don't give her what she needs. So be aware that you need that in order to have to access to your best potential to be a mom, to, even when you're under stress, be able to keep it at bay and to not have that part of yourself hijack your behavior, your actions, your reactions. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And that's very, very prevalent in love relationships, actually, because let's say you're dating someone and that person is not showing you enough attention. You're going to start acting needy and even maybe in ways that you don't love. That's the part of you that is driving the bus in that time. The little girl who's like terrified of being abandoned and not loved. So it really is a must in your life. If you want to be balanced and happy and driving your life from your current age, to master the connection with that little girl in you, because it's going to block you in so many ways. And I could even go deeper in my soul connection class. And actually, I will have one upcoming soon. So if you want to attend the free intro to stepping in your soul connection, that's just a parenthesis here, visit my website, singleanddoingitall.com, and you will be able to access the stepping into your self soul confidence class. So in that class, we work a lot with the little girl in you who's being repeated messages of you can't in so many versions. And that will block you in so many ways in your life. So that's a parenthesis. Now let's go back to the second aspect of parenting yourself. As I mentioned earlier, we have needs. As human beings, we actually have 6 major primal needs that were established by Dr. Maslow. I don't know exactly in what year, but a long time ago, as the pyramids of core needs. And when those needs are not met in a healthy way, you will find a way to meet them in an unhealthy way. So let's talk about the need for connection, for example, that we talked about before. If you don't meet your need for connection with your inner little girl first, you're going to be looking for it mostly in the outside world. And when you raise your kids alone, the people who are the most often present in your life are your kids. And you're going to make them responsible to meet that need, which is a huge responsibility. That shouldn't be on their shoulders to show you that you're loved and lovable. Of course, your kids love you, but that's not their primary responsibility. Their primary thing is to grow and to become, and you're here to love them no matter what. Of course, they love you in return, but that shouldn't be on them to make you feel loved. Do you understand what I need? If you can relate, give me a 1 or give me a heart. This is something that is incumbent to us to meet that need for love so that we're not dependent on anybody and we can react in a more neutral way. Another need that you may have, actually a lot of single moms have, is the need to replenish, is the need to take care of you and your body. And believe me, like I was saying, in my house, we have a saying that when you don't get enough rest, when you don't eat well enough, when you don't get your physical, mostly, first of all, your physical needs met, you transform into a dragon. I know that personally, my kids know that if I don't rest enough, let's say I suffer from chronic back aches, and when I am in pain, do not come to me. I have no patience. So it is crucial for me to know that I sleep enough. I disconnect from my business, for example, when it's time to go and rest instead of working too many hours. And that I get the food that I need to get for my body to feel at its best. Because otherwise, I will not be as available to the world around me. And that's not fair to them. And the thing is, it's a vicious cycle because what happens? It seems so controversial, let's say, because in our society, we've been taught that moms need to love their kids unconditionally. They need to come first. And excuse me to say, but that's the biggest mistake. And maybe what I'm going to say now is going to shock you, but that's the key to a more harmonious and a more inspiring model for your kids. You come first. And let me repeat that. You, the single mom, come first. Even if you had a baby, let's say, and you were breastfeeding, if you don't drink enough water, if you don't eat enough food, the milk will not be a quality one. So even on that level, the nature itself made it so. So your first priority is you. Make sure that you meet your needs for rest, for me time, a little bit every day, if it's only 5 minutes. What I tell my moms is to, when you get out of the shower, let's say, and you put your lotion, this is something you're going to do anyway. And sometimes I know I had clients who said that it was almost like a treat for them, like a spa to have time to put lotion. When you have teenagers, you have more time because they're more busy with their stuff. But even if you only have that time, make it a conscious one. Spread this lotion on your body while sending an intention of self-love, while sending the message to your brain that this is your me time. It's just a question of redefining your perception. That can start with that. Now, And I'm sorry again, I'm so stuffed with allergies. Oh my God. But I really wanted to make that show because I had at least 2 people who told me they were waiting for it. The other thing I wanted to say is, because you're not used to hearing those messages that you come first, and it may sound selfish to you. And the truth is, in our society, we need to really deassociate the negative connotation to that word selfish, because we need to self-nourish first. We need to self-care first. Maybe you're going to feel guilty about doing that. So you won't do it. And you won't do it, and it will bring you to a position where you won't have anything to give to your kids. So you're going to scream more, maybe. You're going to overreact. You're not going to be your best mom. And guess where it's going to bring you again? Into guilt. And maybe even into shame later, because you're going to say, oh, like I used to do in the morning, to be fully transparent, when my kids were younger and I was driving everybody to school. And I had to scream because they wouldn't get up. Especially, I have my middle daughter loves her sleep. And it was a nightmare to have her get up in the morning. So I was getting irritated. She was in return getting irritated. It was a very strong atmosphere of tension. And then I was bringing them to school. And the first thing they heard from me in the morning was yelling and this tension. And it's not beneficial for anybody. It's not beneficial for me and not for them. So then I was in the car after that going to work, feeling horrible because once more I had ruined the day because I started with screaming. I felt the shame of being a bad mom, of not being able to get a hold of that. Do things differently. Does it resonate with you? Let me know here. Does it seem something that you can relate with? Do you relate? I know it happened to me so many times when it could be avoided. Because if you take a little bit more time to get up, to sleep, you go to bed earlier and maybe in the evening, you get up earlier in the morning and you take more time to wake them up. Or you take time to prepare yourself mentally. That's even better. You prime your brain to the fact that they may not get up on time, that they may be slow. You will react differently. Instead of reacting, you are going to respond. And why? Because you took the time to parent yourself, to know that that little child in you needs her time, needs her love from you instead of beating yourself up, and needs to be replenished every day with enough rest, etc., etc., etc. So when you take good care of yourself, when you connect with that little girl in you and really love yourself enough, you will be a different kind of mom. You will be more available. You will be more forgiving because you will still be connected with that little child in you that reacts like a child. Sometimes we forget we are in our adult mode and quick. We need to get ready quick. We need to go to school quick. We need to eat breakfast and we need to be. Remember when you were a kid and you took your time and every day was an adventure. And you loved seeing the face of your mom smiling. Remember all that. When you connect with that little child in you, that little girl, you can have access to that more easily. And you'll be more understanding with your kids. So as far as self-parenting, be aware of your needs and be extra, what's the word? Extra careful or even non-negotiable. Have a non-negotiable regarding the needs that you need to meet for yourself every day if you want to be a decent human being. That's what I wanted to share today. If you have questions, you can reach to me on my website as single as a French woman. What am I saying? That's my old website, singleanddoingitall.com. Or you can reach to me on Facebook at Your French Life Coach. That's my business page. Anywhere you want to reach, privately, publicly, let me know what you think. Let me know how it lands for you. And let me know if you still have questions. And also, if you have ideas about how you can meet that need for self-care, if there are stuff that you are practicing yourself that add to the self-care without adding to the time in your life, because as we know, single moms are extremely busy. Single moms, let us know. I love having my community interact with each other. We are here for each other and we can bring to each other. And just that alone, when we know we contribute, it meets one of our 6 core human needs, the need for contribution. Did you know that? Maybe not. And it also meets the need to grow because you're growing into a richer person. So until I see you next time, have a wonderful rest of your day and go and meet your needs. Connect with that little girl inside, and you will see it will transform your life. Every day, tell her you love her. Every day, put a hand on your heart, close your eyes, see yourself as a little daughter, as a little girl that you were, lovable, adorable, and tell yourself, mentioning your name, I love you forever. There is nothing you can do that will change that, and I'm here for you. I'll see you next time. Go and love yourself.
Being a single mom can be challenging, but you don't have to face it alone. Join our community at facebook.com/groups/single and doing it all and receive tools, tips, and free group coaching. And if you like this podcast, please review and rate us on iTunes. I would really appreciate it.